You've been told your whole life that fruit is healthy. And for the most part, that's true. But once you hit your 60s, things start to change. Your metabolism slows, your joints ache more, and your muscles don't recover like they used to. That's why some fruits, while healthy for young people, can become harmful for older adults. Especially when it comes to your legs. If you're dealing with weak muscles, joint stiffness, or sudden cramps, some fruits might be the hidden cause. Let's talk about 8 common fruits that may be slowly destroying your leg strength and what you should be eating instead. 1. Bananas, hidden sugar and potassium imbalance. Let's start with one of the most commonly recommended fruits, bananas. They're often portrayed as the perfect healthy snack, easy to digest, convenient to carry, and full of nutrients like potassium. But for seniors, especially those managing blood sugar levels or heart health, bananas might not be as innocent as they seem. Bananas are naturally high in sugar, especially when they're overripe. A single large banana can contain up to 17 grams of sugar, mostly in the form of fructose and glucose. While this is natural sugar, it still behaves like any other sugar in the body, leading to spikes in blood glucose levels. For younger, more metabolically active individuals, this may not be an issue. But for seniors, especially those with type 2 diabetes, prediabetes, or insulin resistance, this sugar spike can be problematic. Why? Because repeated blood sugar spikes can trigger inflammation in the body. Specifically, joints and muscles, like the knees, calves, and hips, can start to feel sore, stiff, or even swollen. Over time, this can make simple movements like getting up from a chair, walking around the block, or climbing stairs more painful and tiring than they should be. And the more frequently this happens, the longer the recovery takes. But that's not all. Bananas are also very high in potassium, which, in moderation, supports heart and muscle function. However, when consumed in excess, especially in the absence of other balancing minerals like magnesium and sodium, this can lead to a dangerous electrolyte imbalance. Electrolytes play a key role in nerve signaling, hydration, and muscle contractions. If there's too much potassium and not enough of the other electrolytes, you might experience muscle cramps, fatigue, dizziness, or even irregular heartbeats, a potentially serious condition called arrhythmia. Many seniors are also on medications like ACE inhibitors, diuretics, or beta blockers, which can interfere with potassium regulation. So even one banana a day, when combined with these medications, could push potassium levels too high. Have you noticed your legs locking up at night, muscles twitching, or more frequent fatigue even after light activity? Your daily banana could be playing a bigger role than you think. That's not to say bananas are inherently bad. They do have fiber, vitamin C, and other benefits, but portion control and timing are crucial. If you're going to eat them, consider having half a banana with a source of protein or fat, like a handful of nuts, to slow sugar absorption. Or better yet, opt for lower sugar fruits like berries or kiwi, which have a gentler impact on blood sugar and provide powerful antioxidants. 2. Grapes, fructose overload in a tiny package. Grapes are one of the easiest fruits to snack on. They're bite-sized, sweet, and refreshing, perfect for a quick handful in the afternoon or a bowl in front of the TV. But this convenience and natural sweetness can hide a dangerous truth, especially for older adults. A small cup of grapes, what many would consider a light snack, can contain 20 grams or more of fructose, the type of sugar found naturally in fruit. Unlike glucose, which the body uses for energy right away, fructose is processed almost entirely by the liver. And in seniors, the liver becomes less efficient at handling this load. When you regularly consume high fructose foods like grapes, the liver can convert the excess into triglycerides, stored fat. Over time, this contributes to fatty liver disease, weight gain around the abdomen, and even metabolic syndrome, a dangerous combination of high blood sugar, high blood pressure, and poor cholesterol levels. What makes fructose even more concerning is that it doesn't trigger insulin or signal satiety, fullness, the same way glucose does. So, you don't feel full or satisfied, leading to mindless overeating. Before you know it, that small handful of grapes turns into a full bowl and a significant sugar overload. For seniors, this can be particularly damaging. Insulin resistance, fatigue, chronic inflammation, and stubborn belly fat often sneak in quietly when fructose intake is high. And grapes, despite their innocent appearance, are one of the biggest culprits. But there's another hidden danger: uric acid. Grapes can elevate uric acid levels in the blood, which is especially risky for seniors suffering from gout, a form of arthritis known for causing sudden and excruciating joint pain. Gout flares often strike at night, targeting the toes, ankles, knees, and sometimes even the fingers. The purines in grapes, combined with high fructose levels, can set off these painful episodes with no warning. So, if you've been snacking on grapes in the evening and waking up with swollen feet, aching legs, or sharp pain in your joints, it's time to rethink that habit. You may be unknowingly fueling inflammation and uric acid buildup, especially if you're already prone to joint problems or have a family history of arthritis. That doesn't mean you have to eliminate grapes entirely, but moderation is key. Try limiting your intake to a few grapes at a time and pair them with fiber or protein to help slow sugar absorption. Better yet, opt for low fructose fruits like strawberries, raspberries, or blackberries, which offer antioxidants without the sugar spike. 3. Pineapple, acidic and inflammatory. Pineapple is often praised for its tropical taste and unique enzyme content, making it a popular choice in fruit salads, smoothies, and summer snacks. And while it does contain bromelain, an enzyme known for its anti-inflammatory and digestion-supporting properties, the risks for older adults can sometimes outweigh the benefits. Let's start with the basics. Pineapple is both highly acidic and high in sugar. 1 cup contains more than 16 grams of sugar, which can contribute to blood sugar spikes, especially problematic for seniors with diabetes or insulin resistance. But it's not just the sugar that raises concern. The acidity in pineapple can be harsh on the digestive system. For individuals dealing with acid reflux, GERD, or sensitive stomach linings, eating pineapple can trigger burning sensations, bloating, or discomfort. Over time, chronic exposure to acidic foods can wear down the protective lining of the stomach and aggravate existing digestive issues. But it's not just the gut that suffers, your joints may pay the price too. Pineapple's acidity doesn't just affect your stomach, it can also impact joint cartilage by promoting inflammation and irritation, especially in those with conditions like osteoarthritis. This is particularly concerning for seniors, whose cartilage is already thinning with age. The result? Stiff, swollen knees, discomfort in the hips, or even a sensation of your joints locking up after eating pineapple. It might seem unrelated at first. Who would think that a piece of fruit could make your knees ache the next day? But many seniors have reported just that. A day or two after enjoying a few slices of pineapple, they notice increased swelling or reduced mobility in their legs and lower joints. This is no coincidence. Pineapple's acid and sugar content can trigger inflammatory responses in already vulnerable areas of the body. If you're managing arthritis, gout, or chronic joint pain, it's wise to treat pineapple with caution. The bromelain it contains might offer mild anti-inflammatory effects, but those benefits are often offset by the fruit's high sugar load and low pH, especially when eaten in large amounts or on an empty stomach. Instead of removing it entirely, you might consider limiting your intake to small portions and always pairing it with other foods, not eating it alone. Also, cooked pineapple or pineapple in savory dishes, like stir-fries, can be less irritating than fresh, raw chunks. So yes, pineapple might feel cool and refreshing, especially on a hot summer day, but if you've been noticing more joint pain, tightness in your knees, or stomach irritation, it might be time to take a break from this tropical treat. 4. Watermelon, sugar spikes and energy crashes. Watermelon is often seen as the ultimate hydrating fruit, sweet, juicy, and over 90% water. On a hot day, a cold slice can feel like the perfect refreshment. But what most people don't realize is that watermelon's high water content doesn't cancel out its high sugar content, and for seniors, that can be a serious problem. Watermelon has a very high glycemic index, meaning it raises blood sugar levels quickly and dramatically. Even though it doesn't taste overly sweet, just 2 cups of diced watermelon contain about 18 grams of sugar. because the fruit is digested so quickly that sugar rushes into your bloodstream almost immediately. For younger individuals with strong insulin responses, this spike is usually managed well. But in seniors, especially those with slower metabolic function, insulin resistance, or type 2 diabetes, this sugar surge leads to a sharp insulin release, followed by a rapid crash in blood sugar levels. The result? Sudden fatigue, leg heaviness, dizziness, or even shakiness shortly after eating it. Many older adults describe the feeling as energy disappearing out of nowhere or legs turning into lead after just a slice or two. This isn't just about feeling tired, it's your body struggling to rebalance after an intense and fast-acting sugar load. And there's more. If you're on medications like metformin, insulin, or blood pressure pills, watermelon can interfere with how those medications regulate your body. Because of its impact on blood sugar and fluid balance, watermelon may cause unpredictable dips or spikes in energy, blood pressure, or glucose readings, making it harder to manage your overall health. Also, due to its diuretic effect, watermelon can lead to frequent urination and contribute to electrolyte imbalances, especially when consumed in large amounts. This can leave you feeling dehydrated, weak in the legs, or unstable on your feet, ironically, even though you're eating a fruit that seems hydrating. So if you've noticed that you feel sluggish, sleepy, or mentally foggy an hour or two after enjoying some watermelon, it's not your imagination. These symptoms could be a direct result of how the fruit affects your blood sugar and energy reserves. That doesn't mean watermelon is off limits forever, but portion size and timing matter. If you still want to enjoy it, try pairing a small serving with a source of protein or healthy fat, like a few almonds, to help stabilize blood sugar levels. Or better yet, switch to lower glycemic fruits like apples, berries, or grapefruit, which provide a slower, more sustained energy release. Watermelon might feel like it's refreshing you, but for many seniors, it's actually draining your strength little by little, especially when consumed frequently or in large portions. 5. Cherries, the gout trigger. Cherries are often celebrated as a superfruit because they're rich in antioxidants and vitamins, which help fight free radicals and support overall health. Many people enjoy cherries in desserts, smoothies, or just fresh as a snack. But for seniors, especially those who suffer from gout or inflammatory arthritis, cherries can be more trouble than they're worth. The key concern lies in cherries' high fructose content. Like grapes and other sweet fruits, cherries contain a significant amount of fructose, a sugar that your liver processes differently than glucose. Unfortunately, fructose can increase uric acid production in your body. Uric acid is a natural waste product, but when it builds up too much, it crystallizes in joints, forming sharp, painful deposits known as gout crystals. These crystals most commonly target the feet, knees, ankles, and legs, areas already prone to wear and tear in older adults. If you've ever felt a sudden, intense burning pain in your big toe, or stiffness and swelling in your knees after eating a cherry dessert or even just a handful of fresh cherries, you're likely experiencing a gout flare-up. These episodes can last for days or even weeks, severely limiting mobility and causing significant discomfort. But that's not all. The cherries also contain salicylates, natural compounds found in many fruits and vegetables. For some people, especially those sensitive to salicylates, these can worsen symptoms like fatigue, joint stiffness, and headaches. This means that cherries might cause inflammation and discomfort through two separate pathways: increased uric acid and salicylate sensitivity. This combination can turn what looks like a sweet, harmless fruit into a leg pain bomb, a trigger that can spark off days of discomfort, reduced mobility, and frustration. For seniors who are prone to gout or have a history of inflammatory arthritis, it's important to monitor how your body reacts to cherries. If you notice any correlation between eating cherries and joint pain or swelling, consider reducing your intake or avoiding them altogether. Instead, opt for fruits lower in fructose and salicylates, like blueberries or strawberries, which tend to be gentler on sensitive joints and less likely to provoke gout flares. Remember, while cherries may have some health benefits, for those with joint issues, gout, or salicylate sensitivity, they can do more harm than good. 6. Oranges, acid that eats at your bones. Oranges are widely praised for their high vitamin C content, essential for immune support and skin health. They're refreshing, tangy, and often seen as a go-to healthy snack or juice option. But while oranges do have nutritional benefits, there's a lesser-known downside: their high acidity that can pose significant risks for seniors. Oranges and orange juice are highly acidic, with a pH that can disrupt your body's delicate acid-base balance if consumed in excess. The human body strives to maintain a balanced pH, and when the diet is too acidic without enough alkaline foods, like leafy greens or nuts, to offset it, this can cause your body to pull calcium from your bones to neutralize the acid. This process, known as calcium leaching, weakens your skeletal structure over time. For seniors, this is especially concerning. Many already struggle with osteoporosis or age-related bone density loss. Consuming too many acidic foods like oranges can accelerate bone weakening, making fractures, falls, and joint instability more likely. It's not just your bones at risk; your muscles, particularly those that support your joints such as your thighs and calves, also suffer. Weak muscles mean less support and more strain on your joints, increasing the risk of pain and mobility issues. The acidity of oranges doesn't just affect bones, it can also cause bladder irritation. Many seniors report an increase in urinary frequency or urgency after consuming citrus fruits or juices. Frequent urination can lead to the loss of electrolytes like potassium and magnesium, which are vital for muscle contraction and nerve function. Without these minerals, muscles can cramp, feel weak, or become fatigued, further contributing to leg discomfort and instability. Many seniors also notice that their arthritis symptoms worsen after drinking orange juice. The citrus tang that seems so refreshing might actually be triggering joint inflammation and pain. The combination of acid-irritating joint tissues and leaching minerals needed for bone and muscle strength can create a perfect storm for increased joint stiffness and swelling. So, if you're already dealing with weak bones, arthritis, or leg muscle fatigue, it's worth reconsidering how much orange or orange juice you consume. Instead of large amounts of citrus, try balancing your diet with more alkaline foods, which help protect your bones and muscles. Oranges are healthy in moderation, but for many seniors, too much acidity can come with a sour outcome for your bones, muscles, and joints. 7. Mangoes, sweet but dangerous for seniors. Mangoes are often called the king of fruits for their rich, juicy sweetness and vibrant flavor. Many people love enjoying mangoes fresh, in smoothies, or desserts. But beneath that delicious sweetness lies a hidden danger for seniors, especially those concerned about blood sugar and muscle health. Mangoes are one of the highest sugar fruits out there. A single medium mango can pack more than 45 grams of sugar, primarily in the form of fructose. For younger, healthier bodies, this sugar is usually burned off efficiently through daily activity and metabolism. But as we age, the body's ability to process high sugar loads declines. In seniors, excess sugar from mangoes often gets stored as visceral fat, fat that surrounds organs deep inside the abdomen. This kind of fat is not just a cosmetic issue, it's strongly linked to insulin resistance, a key factor in the development and worsening of type 2 diabetes. Insulin resistance also leads to muscle breakdown, which means your legs, especially your hips and thighs, may feel weaker, tire more easily, and have poorer circulation. That tired, heavy-legged feeling many seniors experience can be partially caused by how their bodies handle the sugar in fruits like mangoes. For those living with diabetes or prediabetes, mangoes can cause significant blood sugar swings, making glucose control much harder to manage. Additionally, if you're on medications such as metformin for diabetes or statins for cholesterol, the high sugar in mangoes can interfere with how well these medications work. Poor glucose control combined with medication interference can worsen symptoms of neuropathy, tingling, numbness, or pain in the feet, which is a common and debilitating problem in older adults. So, while mangoes may feel like a tropical treat, they can easily lead to tropical problems, especially after age 60. For seniors who want to enjoy fruit without risking blood sugar spikes or muscle weakness, it's wise to choose lower sugar fruits such as berries, apples, or pears. If mangoes are part of your diet, consider eating smaller portions, pairing them with protein or fiber to slow sugar absorption, and always monitoring how your body reacts afterward. The bottom line? Mango's sweetness comes at a steep price for many seniors. Tired legs, poor circulation, and reduced muscle strength aren't worth the momentary pleasure. 8. Dried fruits, sugar bombs in disguise. Dried fruits like raisins, dates, and dried figs often get labeled as natural or healthy snacks, and on the surface, they seem like a great choice. After all, they come from real fruit, right? But the reality is much more complicated, especially for seniors. When fruits are dried, their water content is removed, concentrating everything else, the sugars, calories, and even certain additives. This means the natural sugars become 5 to 10 times more concentrated than in fresh fruit. To put it into perspective, a single cup of raisins contains over 85 grams of sugar. That's more sugar than you'd find in 3 cans of soda. Imagine how quickly that sugar load hits your system. This massive sugar surge is a major problem for seniors because it triggers inflammation throughout the body, especially in joints. Inflammation leads to swelling, stiffness, and increased pain, which can seriously impair mobility and quality of life. But sugar isn't the only issue. Most commercially sold dried fruits are treated with sulfites, chemicals added to preserve color and freshness. While sulfites may seem harmless, they can cause allergic reactions, swelling, joint pain, headaches, and even asthma attacks in people sensitive to them. Seniors are more likely to develop sensitivities or allergies, making these additives a hidden threat. The combination of high sugar and sulfites creates a perfect storm for seniors, contributing to water retention and stiffness, especially in the legs, ankles, and knees. This often results in those familiar symptoms of swollen ankles or painful joints after indulging in trail mix or dried fruit snacks. Another hidden downside is the lack of water in dried fruits. Water is crucial for digestion and nutrient absorption. When you eat dried fruit, your body has to work harder to digest it and absorb vitamins and minerals, which slows down nutrient uptake. For seniors, whose digestion is often slower and less efficient, this can mean fewer nutrients actually make it into the bloodstream, depriving muscles and joints of what they need to stay healthy. So, if you've been wondering why your legs feel more swollen or stiff after snacking on dried fruits or trail mix, these sugar bombs could be the culprit. For better health, seniors should consider fresh or frozen fruit options, which retain natural water content, lower sugar concentration, and no sulfite preservatives. Or, snack on nuts and seeds instead for protein and healthy fats without the sugar overload. In short, dried fruits may look innocent, but they are hidden sugar bombs and chemical carriers that can seriously undermine seniors' joint health and overall well-being. So, which of these fruits do you eat the most? Did you notice something new, maybe a connection you hadn't thought of before? Tell us in the comments below. Your experience might help someone else. And if you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's struggling with joint or leg pain. Let's help more people make smarter choices as they age. Fruits aren't bad, but some are bad for you, especially as your body changes with age. What helped your health in your 30s might now be sabotaging your energy, your mobility, and your independence. Protect your legs, protect your strength, and don't let sugar and inflammation creep in through your healthy snacks. Switch to lower sugar, anti-inflammatory fruits like blueberries, avocados, and papaya, and start feeling the difference in your body, one smart choice at a time. Because strong legs don't start at the gym, they start in the kitchen. Thanks for watching. Stay informed, stay mobile, and we'll see you in the next video.